Welcome back, Initiate. You've taken your first step into the mystery, into the balance and harmony of Mayat. Now, in this second lesson, we step deeper into the sacred language of the ancients, a language that spoke not with words but with symbols, the true language of the gods. To the ancient Egyptians, the universe was not just seen, it was read. Every shape, every color, every creature held meaning. The sun's path across the sky, the lotus blooming on the Nile, the form of a bird, or the swirl of a line carved in stone. None of it was random. They lived in a world alive with symbolic consciousness. And to walk the path of the mystery schools was to learn how to see again, not just with the eyes, but with the soul. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. In the modern world, we often overlook symbols. We scroll past them on screens, see them on clothing, in logos, in art, rarely pausing to ask, what is this really saying to me? But to the Egyptians, every symbol was a portal, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the physical and the spiritual, between the individual and the divine. Take the scarab beetle, for example. To the casual eye, it's just an insect. But to the ancient Egyptians, the scarab represented rebirth and transformation. Why? Because each morning the beetle would push a ball of dung across the sand, much like the sun rolling across the sky. From this humble creature, they drew the idea of Khepri, the god of the rising sun, who renewed creation each morning. A small symbol, yes, but containing cosmic truth. Or the Ankh, the cross with a loop at the top. To the untrained eye, it's a design, but to the initiate, it is the key of life. It represents eternal existence, the union of male and female energies, the breath of the gods. To hold an Ankh is to hold the promise that life transcends death. And then there is the Eye of Horus, one of the most recognized symbols of all. But few know its full depth. It symbolizes protection, healing, and spiritual insight. Legend tells us that Horus lost his eye in a battle with Set, the god of chaos. Yet the eye was restored, making it not just a symbol of power, but of wholeness after suffering. To meditate on this symbol is to invoke resilience, wisdom, and the watchful presence of divine order. These are just a few of many: the pyramids, the lotus, the scepter, the sun disk, the vulture and cobra. Each carries messages layered in myth, energy, and meaning. And the deeper you study them, the more they begin to speak to you personally. But this isn't just about learning old meanings. The mystery schools taught that a true initiate doesn't just study symbols, they experience them. Which brings us to today's lesson. What symbols speak to you? What shapes, images, colors, or patterns stir something deep inside? It could be ancient, like the Eye of Horus, or something modern, a tree, a spiral, a flame. Your soul already understands the language of symbolism. It's just been forgotten. So today's task is both ancient and personal. Choose one Egyptian symbol that resonates with you. We've included a list of sacred symbols in the video description to help guide you. Let your intuition lead the way. Don't overthink it. Pick the one that pulls your attention or stirs your curiosity. Once you've chosen your symbol, begin your practice. Set aside 15 minutes. Find a quiet space. Place an image of the symbol in front of you, or visualize it clearly in your mind. Now breathe. Focus your attention entirely on that symbol. Observe every detail, its curves, its symmetry, its energy. Let your thoughts soften and allow meaning to rise naturally within you. Ask yourself, what emotions does this bring up in me? What memories, images, or insights surface? What does this symbol want to teach me here and now? You may be surprised. Symbols have a way of unlocking truths that words cannot reach. Sometimes what arises will feel ancient, other times deeply personal. Don't force an answer, just be present and let the connection grow. If you'd like to deepen the practice, journal afterward. Write freely, let your unconscious speak. Often the first thoughts that pour out are the most revealing. This, dear initiate, is not just a spiritual exercise, it's a key to unlocking a multi-layered way of seeing. Because once you begin to see symbolically, you start to experience life on a higher level. You realize that your dreams are full of messages, that the universe is always speaking, and that nothing is meaningless. You also begin to craft your reality with intention. You place meaningful objects in your space. You wear sacred symbols not as decoration, but as armor. You start living as the ancient priests and priestesses once lived, in constant conversation with the divine. And that is the hidden power of the Egyptian mystery schools. They didn't just teach facts, they transformed perception. So as you move through the rest of your day, stay open. Look around you. Notice the signs and symbols that keep showing up. Are they random, or are they a message from something higher? You already know the answer. And with that, we complete Lesson 2. You've now begun to awaken your symbolic sight, to learn the language once reserved for gods and kings. Return for Lesson 3, where we will explore the inner sanctum of the self, the sacred temple within. Until then, may the eye of Horus watch over you, and may your path be lit with signs and wonders.